and I might not that chance again for them to come back to come home or something. I try to not be in control of anything. You guys know, man, once we get into control and trying to control people, places, and things, like, fuck, it's all bad, That's the reason why fucking my life went to hell.
Yeah, I get it.
It's definitely a roller coaster, but I wouldn't change it. Honestly, I would not change it.
Yeah,
I believe so much in God, like in Jesus Christ, right? That He forged us in the fire. That was forging us to be the individuals you are today. And when you can accept that, you start being more at peace. Like some people don't know. Sometimes I have to reintroduce myself, because who would have thought, like, I'm on fire for God, And it's crazy because it's so easy but so hard at the same time.
Yeah.
It's so easy to put down.
This is Rock Bottom with Ryan. No sugarcoating, no filters. The pain, the chaos, the truth. No bullshit. Just recovery.
This episode is brought to you by SoberStrong Apparel. SoberStrong Apparel makes heavyweight premium gear for people who take sobriety seriously. 10% of every order goes back to recovery centers. SoberStrong also runs an impact sponsorship program that puts gear directly into facilities for people just starting out. If you're sober or sober curious, check out SoberStrongApparel.com. Grab some gear, stay sober, stay true, rep the crew. Also, use the code ROCKBOTTOM at checkout for an additional 10% off. That's ROCKBOTTOM, all capital letters, for 10% off at checkout. SoberStrongApparel.com. Love this brand, love the company, love what it stands for. I wear it each and every day. Clothing is stylish, it's good quality, it's definitely worth it. Give it a look, SoberStrongApparel.com. Thanks for watching this episode. Enjoy the show. All right, welcome to another episode of Rock Bottom with Ryan and Rachel. We're here back with Bernardo for part 2. Bernardo, how you doing?
I'm doing good, brother.
Yeah, it's good to have you back, man. We had a great time on the first episode together, and we talked so long that we got cut off, and we want to continue what we were talking about. And we were talking about how you got into recovery and how you surrendered and, like, actually decided to get help and get better.
Yeah. So the day I surrendered, so my sober date is 9/16. But a week prior, before that,
What year?
2022. At 2022, and I was living at my grandma's house, and I was continuously repeating the same cycle over and over again, expecting a different outcome. That was a definitely dark time in my life where, I didn't want to, I think I shared this, I didn't want to live anymore, but I didn't want to die, so I remember just, for a while I was just taking a lot of prescription drugs and drinking, hoping not to wake up, Um, and it was sad to see, my grandmother watch. Well, now I can reflect back, what I was doing to her wasn't good, but she loves me, so she's going to deal with it. But her coming to check on me in my room to make sure I'm still alive, putting water by my door, asking me if I'm hungry, but I'm so, like, sick that I don't want to eat, I don't want to drink water unless it's alcohol. But I remember, I got on my hands and knees, man, and we hear that all the time, get on your hands and knees and just pray and pray and pray. But I felt like I was praying so much that nothing was happening, and that day I prayed to God that, like, if you're gonna keep waking me up, then help me, because at this point, like, I don't want to live anymore. I don't have nothing to live for, in a sense, right? That's just the way I was thinking, and I'm crying, And then I all that happened, and then I went to sleep. And I woke up, and I didn't leave my room. I didn't leave my room for like 4 days. I was detoxing.
Mm.
And I was just trying to stay sober. I was just not trying. I was trying not to get out of my room because I knew if I would have got out of my room that I was gonna find a way to drink, or I was gonna find a way to get more pills, or something to make me feel just a little better. And so I wasn't answering my phone. I wasn't doing none of that stuff. And Sunday comes, and I remember that Sunday the Raiders were playing the Niners. I
Mhm.
want to say the Raiders were playing the Niners, and I had invited. So at that time, I had invited some friends over. Why? Because this is what I felt is that, like, how am I gonna tell my friends? How am I gonna tell my friends what's going on? Because I'm a man. And my friends can't see me like this. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I still continue to do what we do, and that was on Sundays. They would come to my house and watch football. So they come to my house, and I have like maybe like 7, 8 people in my house, and we're watching football, and all of a sudden, like, a truck pulls up, and my grandma's outside, and honest, like, I didn't even want to be there. I was full of anxiety, like, I couldn't sit still. Honestly, I felt worse than ever, but I had to maintain that image. Like, nothing was going on. I was feeling all okay, but deep down inside, man, I was going through it. And this truck pulls up, and this girl gets out, and she has an envelope, and she tells my grandma, like, "Hey, is Bernardo here?" And my grandma's like, "Yeah." She never seen this girl before, right? And all my friends inside the house, I have a my grandma has a big window, and they're like, "Hey, she's about to serve you paperwork." And I was like, "Nah, no, she's not." Sure enough, my grandma goes, "Hey, Bernardo," or she calls me Mijo, but Mijo, come here. So I go outside, and sure enough, it's the girl that introduced me and my kids' mom years ago, right? And she has an envelope of paperwork, and she's serving me. So in that envelope is a restraining order, um, and all the paperwork to get custody for my children. She's like, I remember her handing it to me, and she's like, "Daniel, Bernardo, what the f is going on? Get your fucking life together." And, like, I'm still trying to maintain this image, but deep down inside, I just want to cry because I want to tell her, like, I'm struggling. I want to tell her, like, dude, I don't know what's going on? So I take the paperwork, and I'm trying to maintain this image, right? That I don't care, but deep down I care? And I go back inside, and all my friends are laughing, and I kick them all out of my house. I say, "Get the F out of here." Like,
Mhm.
and they leave. And so my grandma comes in, and at that time I'm crying to my grandma. you know all my friends have left, so I'm crying to my grandma, and I'm telling my grandma, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And my grandma tells me, "Well, call your aunt." So I call my aunt Linda, or she's like a mother to me, and I tell her what's going on, and of course everybody's mad. F this, F that, how could they do this to you, this and that, of course, because you know they don't know they don't know the story. They don't know the backstory. They only know my story. They don't know her side, and they don't know the truth. So anyway, my aunt tells me, "You know what? I'm gonna give you a number to a lawyer, and call the lawyer so you can get so you can get some, like, help, and see what the lawyer tells you." Well, this lawyer's helped me out plenty of times. So she knows my backstory. She knows I've been to rehab. She knows I've been to jail. She knows all this stuff, right? And I call her, and I let her know what's going on, right? And I think I shared this, uh, where she tells me, "Bernardo, I'm not going to represent you. You know,
Mm.
she's not going to help me, because I need to help out myself. You know what to do, Bernardo. You've done it before, you know." She's like, "But if you don't get your life together, your daughter is going to date a man just like you." And that hit me. That hit me because, and you start reflecting back, like, I was a dog. I was doing things that I shouldn't have been doing, because of my addiction. They say pray for the families that are caught in the crossfire. Right there, I started realizing everybody that's caught in the crossfire, especially right there. And then my kids are caught in the crossfire. Even though they're young and they don't know what's going on, they don't deserve that. They don't deserve that shit. You know what I mean? So what I did is I put my pride and I put my ego down, and because I didn't want to get sober in my hometown. I didn't want to. I didn't want people in my mind. People are gonna know that Bernardo had issues. You know, Bernardo was dealing with drugs and alcohol, which they probably already knew. But for me, no one knew. You know, and
Mhm.
so I found a meeting 4 miles away from where I live, and I went to that meeting. And when I went to that meeting, I walked in there, and of course, everybody's smiling. I share this all the time. When, you know, walk into a meeting for the first time, everybody's smiling, they're hugging, they're serving coffee. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I don't fucking want to be here. You know what I mean? Like, I fucking don't like you people, you know? And they still love me. They still welcome me with open arms.
Yep.
And of course, I knew some of them, you know? And when I walked in there, it was a topic meeting. Of course, I didn't share as much. I just wanted to leave, but I remember the man that sponsors me now. He kept always telling me, "Just keep coming back, just keep coming back." And maybe like 3 weeks into going back to that meeting, finally one day he pulled me outside and he's like, "Hey man, if you're looking for a sponsor, you know, I'm willing to sponsor you." And of course, like me, I didn't know what it meant to open up to another man. You know what I mean? I didn't know what it meant to work the 12 steps, but I knew that from seeing from other individuals the fruits of their labor, that this shit does work, you know? But you have to be truly honest with yourself. So during those times, man, I told him, all right, yeah, it's cool. You know, like I'll think about it. But I would go home and I would practice in the mirror being honest with myself, you know, because it's just so hard for me to trust another individual.
Mhm.
And so finally one day, you know, I showed up at his house and I told him, I was like, man, you know what? Like, I try to tell him what kind of sponsor I need. And I told him, I was like, dude, I don't know if I need a sponsor, but I just need a father figure. You know, I need someone that's not gonna sugarcoat this shit. And we could cuss, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
But when I'm effing up, when I'm fucking up, tell me, you know, tell me, hey, you know what? You're falling off the beam. Get your shit together, you know? I don't need someone to be like, oh, everything's gonna be all right. No, I don't need that. You know, I know that I'm effing up. I know that I'm fucking up, you know? So we slowly and surely start working the steps. And like I share with people, like, you know, showing up and just listening and being around the environment of the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous, their energy absorbs into you. Like you start realizing how much this is a spiritual program. You
Mhm.
know, because like I said, a dead battery can't charge a dead battery. And in those times, I was a dead battery, you know, and people were pouring everything into me, recharging my spirit, you know, because I was spiritually asleep. And then slowly and surely, I started peeling back. You guys hear this? I don't know if you guys hear this, but like
Peel
that
back the
onion,
layers. Yep.
that onion, you know, that those layers, and you start realizing so much stuff about yourself, you know, and then through time, you know, you start being in service, you start getting out of your comfort zone, you start all those affirmations, everything that you read on the wall, it starts being more clear, and you start practicing those principles in all your affairs, and your life starts changing. It's not a coincidence that I'm there for all the right reasons. I just have to accept it, you know, and the acceptance part is where it can be tricky because you know you still want to run off of your will. You still want to be in control of everything, you know. And for me, if I'm in control of things, that's when I f things up. So of course, you know, I start doing all this stuff that the program is telling me to do, and I go to court. You know, I go to court. I'm 6 months clean and sober at this time, and I go to court, and the judge actually lets me speak, you know, lets me tell my story a little bit, you know, because in the beginning, when I walked into the courthouse for all that paperwork that I received,
Mhm.
I was still like, I want to say like I was going, I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. You know what I mean? Everything that they presented in court, like my sponsor said, you just gotta take accountable for it. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And when I walked in there, I didn't speak their language. I couldn't even speak, you know? I just agreed to everything. So 6 months later, when I went back into court, I was clean and sober. I was clear minded, you know? And the judge actually let me share my story. Let them know that, you know what? I grew up without my mom. I grew up without my dad. Like, God has given me another chance to recreate my life. Like, my children deserve their father, you know? I take accountability for my actions, but don't let my past define me today, you know? Like, meet me where I'm at today. And even though I'm only 6 months clean and sober, I had to start somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And the woman judge, she even told me how proud she was of me because I have a criminal history. Um, and the things that they were saying that was happening because of this court order and stuff like that, like, that's not me. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
not me. And you could present that to the world, but deep down inside, the truth will be revealed, you know? And that's why I'm a strong believer in a higher power, because through my action, because my words don't mean nothing, but my action says everything,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And I learned that in the 12-step program is that you could go in there and you could tell everybody, you know, this, that, and the third, whatever. But I think recovery is what happens behind closed doors, you know? What you truly practice in your life, you know? Are you working? And this is just for me, you know? I mean, everybody's recovery is different, but I want to hear about it. You know, I want to hear about it. So they granted me supervised visits because remember, I haven't seen my kids in months, you know? So they granted me supervised visits, which is a start, you know? And of course, in the beginning, like, this is all I get, you know, this is all I get. But I've learned now that, you know, the trust had to be earned, you know? Because I could always tell you, like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get clean and sober and then get clean and sober and then relapse. Well, what if I was to relapse when I was with my kids? You know what I mean? What if I wasn't spiritually fit enough to take on the responsibilities as a man for my children? You know, and they're in my care, you know, because we want, but sometimes it's not on our timing, it's on God's timing.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to share that with people, like, just be patient, you know? It's hard to be patient when you're an addict because you want now, but when you practice these principles, when you put your faith in a higher power, you start understanding that, you know what? Faith is man, it's just consistent practice, you know? So I got the supervised visits and I was just building that bond and building that relationship with my children, you know? Because they don't know nothing about my addiction. They don't. But at the same time, I realize that they're gonna love me unconditionally, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna love me whether I'm an addict, whether I'm homeless, whatever it is, they're gonna love me.
Yeah.
But do you think that they deserve to have a father that doesn't even love himself? Hell no.
Exactly.
That's just me, right? That's just me. Because I know what it's like to grow up without a father. I know what it's like to grow up without a mother. So even if everybody else has their opinions on me, I'm not a slave to people's opinions anymore. Meet me where I'm at today, right? And of course, I got supervised visits. Boom. I went to court again. I got overnight visits. And this is all like through my recovery time, which it's been like 3 years now, right? And I built that bond. I built that relationship with my children. Um, and let me tell you, it's not always good, you know, because I still get my past brought up. You know what I mean? I still get my war stories brought up, you know? It's hard for individuals to meet me where I'm at today. And what I've learned and applied to my life is that I don't have to explain myself anymore. My actions speak louder than my words. You know, because of my recovery, because of my higher power, you know, I'm able to maintain a job. I'm able to have uh you know, money in my bank account. I'm able to have a roof over my head, but not just my head, but for my children. I didn't have to do that. You know, my grandma has I share this, my grandma has a big enough house for all of us to be there, right?
Mhm.
But my children need to come home to their own room. Whether if it's every other weekend, it doesn't matter. When they come, when I remember, I don't know if you guys know, but when I posted a video when I first got the house, they came in and they're already trying to design their room,
I
what
saw
they want
that.
to do, you know, this and that. And I never had those things. You know, my mom, she would get an apartment. My mom would do this and that, and we'd be there, you know, a month or two, and we'd be gone. You know, so we were never able to feel. I don't know what the word is, but like,
Something of your own.
yeah, you know. So I'm able to do that for my children. I'm able to be the man that I need to be for others. You know, I sponsor men today. I try to give back as much as I can. But sometimes we get so caught up with giving back that we forget that I can only give you what I have. So if I'm not truly working on myself, I can only give you so much. And so like in 2026 this year is really focusing on working on myself in a sense of what I need in order to help out others more, you know?
Mhm.
You know, does that make sense? Like
Mhm.
my sober journey, I'm going to turn it into going to the gym now, you know, and film all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And show others that, you know, because health is wealth.
Right.
Um because just because I have a sobriety, just because I'm in recovery and stuff, I still struggle just as much as you. You know,
Mhm.
I just don't take that first drink, you know? And it's super important to be the example for others. And the only way to, because a lot of people think like, okay, you get clean and sober and the miracle happens. You know, all these things happen in your life. No, but it's not like that. You know, just because it happened the way it happened for me, your journey is going to be totally different,
Mhm.
you know? And a lot of individuals like what you got, but don't realize what it took to get what you got, you
Exactly.
know? And just because I grow doesn't mean everybody else around me grows. So today I'm very grateful. You know, my higher power has blessed me tremendously. My kids have their father. You know, that's the most important thing. Like, and I want to touch with something. You know, like remember I was telling you I got served that paperwork, right?
Yeah.
That paperwork was God answering my prayers. It wasn't the way I wanted, but it's what I needed in order for me to change my life, right? So if it wasn't for their mom, I probably wouldn't have went to a meeting, you know? If it wasn't for their mom doing what she did, I could say that now, you know?
Right.
Now does she believe it? I don't know. But the thing is I know that God used you to help me change my life. My kids were seeds that were planted and God blessed me with them. So I have to be able to show up for them. I have to be able to do these things. And I wouldn't have done none of that if it wasn't for her. You know what I mean? So, and that's all the program. It's all the program because I couldn't give anybody, nah, this is all me, you know?
You did
In
all that.
reality, no, but what I mean is like, you know how like the pride would be like, she didn't do nothing. You know what I mean? She
Mhm.
didn't do, but she did, you know what I mean? And I tell her now, you know, like, you know, I'm grateful, you know, I'm thankful, like, but where we're at today in life, I think there's just so much friction that it's hard to rekindle that relationship. You
Yeah.
know, a lot of people ask me all the time, you know, why aren't you doing this with your kids as mom and this and that? And it's like, you know, there comes a time in your life, man, where, you know, you've done so much damage that of course, if we focused on God and put him in the center of our relationship, I think we might have a chance. But just
Yeah.
because I want to do that doesn't mean she wants to do that, you know?
Time. Time.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's pretty much how life has been since where we left off, you know?
Yep. And the way you speak is just freaking phenomenal. That's why I wanted you on the show originally, and then now we got to the part of you wanting to take care of yourself, though, because if you can't pour in your own cup, how are you going to fill somebody else's? You make a very
Yeah.
good point about that. So, and your story is just, yeah, I relate so much, and you know that I do, about the mother situation. And I cried your first episode, and you've overcame so much, and you're doing the damn thing. You got your kids back. You're being a father and the father they need. And I saw on Instagram, I saw them looking at their rooms, and that melted my heart. And your daughter's adorable.
Yeah, they're behind me right here.
Really? Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you
Oh, I
meant for
don't know
real. I
if
was
you.
like, let me say hi.
Oh, no, no.
It's amazing, man, what you're accomplishing already. It's like crazy what kind of people we can turn into in recovery, you know?
Mm,
They got their dad back, you know? That's pretty cool.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the most important thing, man, is trying to break that generational curse, trying to break those or actually just, not I mean, cuz I I might not be breaking them, but I mean, I'm putting a hold on them because of course, we have a broken home, but they don't have a broken father.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
just because, we're separated and my kids live over there and I live over here. I mean, all I can do is just do what God wants me to do, because that's why I share is that, like, when I start trying to take control, I'll fuck everything up. You know what I mean? And I might not that chance again for them to come back to come home or something. I just really I try to not be in control of anything. You guys know, man, that once we get into control and trying to control people, places, and things, like, fuck, it's all bad. That's the
Mm-hmm.
reason
Yep.
why fucking my life went to hell.
Yeah.
But
I get it. I get it.
it's definitely a roller coaster, but I wouldn't change it. Honestly, I would not change it.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Believe that
get that too.
I believe so much in God, like in Jesus Christ, right? That He forged us in the fire. That was forging us to be the individuals you are today. And when you can accept that, you start being more at peace. Like, people don't know. Like, sometimes I have to reintroduce myself. Because who would have thought, like, I'm on fire for God, and it's crazy because it's so easy but so hard at the same time. You know,
Yeah.
it's so easy to put down. Like I share people, it's not about putting down the bottle or the bag or anything, man. It's about being able to sit there and deal with everything, deal with life, man. Because
Yeah.
life is so unfair. Is so unfair. Life is hard, right? But I rather
Mm-hmm.
choose this hardness. I rather go this route than relying on a substance or relying on alcohol to get me through it. Because that shit is not getting me through it. You know. And of course, the individuals that I meet, like you guys, people around here and stuff like that, how important it is for relationships. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you guys help out in so many ways that before I would have thought, like, no one wants to listen to me. You know what I mean? No one wants to listen to what I got going on. But in reality, man, is that they say, find your people, and I feel like, I broke my anonymity. I did, because I came on social media and I started sharing about my experience, my strength, and my hope. I broke that, you know. Other individuals didn't like that, because everybody sees what's going on, especially in my community. And when I broke that because God told me that, you know what, there's individuals on the internet, that don't that can't go to meetings, you
Mm-hmm.
know, they can't find those resources, but they have a phone. They're gonna scroll through and they're gonna see your video or this and that, and just that might be a little bit of hope, for them to get out of their comfort zone and then go to a meeting or
Yep.
whatever it is.
Yep.
Oh, if he did it, I could do it.
Yeah. I
So,
saw that you put subtitles in Spanish too, and we spoke about this before, that you're reaching out to the Hispanic community as well, which is awesome.
well, it's super important because I shared this with you. There's individuals in my life who only speak Spanish. And of course, in the Mexican culture, some individuals think like or feel that they can't be vulnerable. You know what I mean? They can't talk about what goes on as far as emotions, as far as mental health, and all that stuff. Men and women, right?
Yeah.
So in the Spanish community, I felt like it made me reflect back to like my grandpa because he was an alcoholic,
Mm.
and he had stopped, and maybe he had so much to say, you know, but he couldn't say because he felt like nobody would understand.
Yeah.
So when I turned those videos and the subtitles into Spanish, you know how many people reached out? Like you'd be surprised.
I'm not
On TikTok.
surprised.
No, but like on TikTok and like other
Mhm.
platforms, like I had like someone in my like close to me was watching one of my videos, and they're translating it to him in Spanish, and that's why I gave me the idea to what, I'm gonna make these into Spanish. What's funny? I shared this with Rachel. I was like, I don't even really speak Spanish. I speak Spanglish. You
Yeah.
know. So I'm a no sabo kid, like, but I can have a conversation with you. But in order for me to respond, I have to sit there and think about it. Like, okay, how am I gonna articulate? How am I gonna share this? But it's very good, like, to try to switch it up a little bit. You
Yeah.
know,
I have
because
a I have a buddy
but
who from AA who would go to this Spanish speaking meeting every once in a while, and he doesn't even speak good Spanish, but he said he liked to go for like a different perspective and hear what people talk about in a different language, even though he doesn't understand it all. So
What? But he doesn't understand it?
yeah,
so I've gotten asked to speak at like at the so like Alcoholics Anonymous, and then like I don't know, how there's like the Mexican style, and then the one we know.
yeah.
So someone came across one of my videos and asked me to share at one, but um I told him like, dude, I don't really speak Spanish. Oh, don't worry, they'll understand, and it's because it's not about it's the messenger. The message is still the same, but it's how the individual articulates it. There's power behind how I speak
Mhm.
because it's real. You know what I mean? Like, it's something that I truly lived. It's something that I know that's helping people change. Most importantly, like, it's a better way of living. Like, hell has an exit, you know? Just find the individual that you hear that you could relate to and go talk with them,
Yeah.
you know? Go talk with them and find your similarities, and that's what it is. And if I can help the Spanish community, if I can help out whoever I can help out, I try. And sometimes, my sponsor tells me, bro, you're not God. So chill out, but you just want to see people see the light, you want them
Mhm.
to get that better living. And that's my goal, but sometimes it's not always in my timing.
You're doing it.
Yeah,
You are doing it.
but life is good.
Good.
Yeah. So
We appreciate you sharing like the
The
second part
rest
of
of
your
your story.
story and letting us know how you're doing in recovery. What does 24 hours look like now? And then we'll get to some other questions.
So 24 hours for me, man, is very simple, Well, I try to keep it simple, right? I work nights, so but it's definitely when I go lay my head at night in my pillow, like I don't have to worry. I could be honest with myself. I could go to sleep knowing that I tried my best, regardless of whatever it is. And I could wake up and give it another shot. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, man, like I still struggle. Mental health is something that I don't think that would probably ever go away because I got children, and the worry's always gonna be there.
Mhm.
Um, and what I mean by mental health is like some people take it all the way out of like context, right? What I mean is like I still get some anxiety. You know, I still get depressed sometimes. I still get all those things, but my 24 hours, in those 24 hours, I don't have to go run to a bottle. I don't have to run to pills. I don't have to run to anything to escape those 24 hours. You know what I mean? And I constantly I'm in prayer, um, or I'm constantly speaking. My life didn't change unless I spoke. You know, so I pick up that phone and I call someone. You know, if I'm struggling, right? But my 24 hours is definitely it's great. You know, it's great. So yeah,
Good.
Good.
that's my 12.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. So let's ask some questions about what it's like in recovery now. And some of the questions might refer back to some old memories, but let's see.
Hit me
What,
with the good ones.
what's something you don't miss at all about drinking or using?
Miss it all. Well, man, the come downs.
Yeah,
You know,
agree with that.
the come downs for sure, man. The come downs. That's what makes you just want. All right, well, I'm gonna keep going. I don't want to feel like this. You know. Yeah,
Fuck, I'm down.
the anxiety, the depression, like those things. I don't. To the levels of that, I don't miss that.
No. No.
What would be your theme song describing your addiction?
Fuck.
Asking him, that's funny.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Pop Bottles by Lil Wayne?
Oh yeah, we were just talking about that one.
Mine is pop bottles. No,
For
mine's
real?
not. No, mine's not if you buck, but pop bottles. Yeah, pop bottles.
Yeah, that was a hitter. You know?
It still is.
That
Forward on a model.
mm-hmm.
Shut up, bitch. Wow. No, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, I love that fucking song.
Yeah.
Or
That's a good answer.
Lifestyle.
By Drake, was that, or Lil Wayne too?
No, by the brother. It took a lot of just to live this lifestyle. You know what I'm talking about?
I can't. They did a Bill Cosby thing. They put Bill Cosby's voice over that. I know what you're talking about. They made fun of that song. Lifestyle, yes.
Yeah, forgot that. It's gonna bug me.
Lifestyle.
What's a moment that you should have stopped but didn't?
When I was looking at 7 years in jail. I mean, there's probably a lot more than that, but honestly, like that one was, you know, I had got an altercation and which caused a great bodily injury. You know, I was looking at some time. Was it an eye opener? Yeah, but like I said, man, we use God as a vending machine. You know, God will get you out of certain situations, and then once you get what you want, you're back out there running. And that's how I was. You know, that's how I was. So I got out of that situation. Well, I didn't get out of the way I wanted. You know, I got on felony probation. I can't carry a firearm for life. So, of course, it didn't work out, but it worked out better than going to sit down, you know? But I didn't change then. So I got what I wanted. Okay, cool. And I went back out and I started terrorizing the world again.
Me too.
It's just funny.
It's so funny. No, the pettiest thing that you did during addiction. Pettiest.
Like,
I was petty as fuck. So
I want to hear your
can you
answer.
give me an example? Can you give me an example?
you want to know something I did petty?
Yeah, I want to know. Yeah.
Oh, this is so stupid too. I've never even shared this. I don't even think my fiance knows this. One time I wanted to make him jealous and upset that I was going out, but I didn't have a license and I was shit-faced drunk. I was blackout. So I like put on YouTube, I put that I was in a club and I blasted music and I made it look like I was in the background. I was dancing around and then I posted it. And he got really pissed off at me that I went out drunk, but I didn't really go out. So petty and stupid.
Damn. I mean, I've
I
done a lot
really
of
did
petty.
that.
Yeah, I've done a lot of petty things. I mean, hey, is all right. I don't know if this is petty, but let me tell you. I want. Go ahead. Tell
No,
me.
I
Right?
mean, my quick example that comes to my head was one of my ex-girlfriends. She was abusive, so my way of getting back to her was hooking up with her friends.
Damn.
So I hooked up with as many of them as I could, and I just felt like I got her back in that way since I was never going to hit back. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that took
That's
a whole other that took a different direction.
that's a level of petty.
Yeah.
I've damn man, I mean I've done all that stuff.
Vengeance.
I have.
I've done all that stuff you said.
It makes it sound so
You know,
casual.
yeah.
I've
So
done all
like
that stuff.
I could just say everything that I was doing was petty.
Okay.
Whether it was cheating, whether it was just everything. I've done a lot of cheating in my life too. Why? Because all right, I'll share you real quick. Petty to me means like obviously doing something out of character, right?
Like eye for
So
an
I don't.
eye.
Yeah, so like I don't even know who I could play any kind of character I wanted, but the lying, the liar, the cheater, the thief, like all that stuff, like that was normal to me. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna hurt me, oh watch, I'm gonna hurt you 10 times worse. I
Mhm.
might not hurt you now, but watch, you're gonna know I'm gonna hurt you. You know what I mean? And believe me, you're gonna feel it. So
Yeah.
I was just a petty individual. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. I
So
feel that. Me too.
Yep. It's a good answer. I think we're
Super,
all
you know,
petty in some way
angry.
because we all had so much anger and hate in
Yep.
our bodies, So,
So much
yeah.
anger.
yeah. What's the most old person thing you do since getting sober?
Old person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the most old person thing I do?
Yeah.
Drink coffee.
Damn.
Hey, I drink coffee.
I drink coffee all
No,
day.
no, but hold on. When you go to when you're in the rooms, I never
Yeah.
drank coffee. You know what I mean? Like,
So much coffee there.
Yeah.
hey, well, there's a story in the big book, like about the coffee drinker,
Mhm.
and like, hey, I drink coffee all the time. Like, even my grandma says, like, stop taking the little cups, the little
Yeah.
cups. Stop taking them. Go buy yourself some,
Shit, I do
because
that to my dad.
yeah, because coffee is but I mean, that's probably I drink a lot of coffee, so that's probably. I always thought growing up, like drinking coffee, cause seeing my grandparents every morning drink coffee at the table. Oh, that's what old people do, you know. And now look at
Yep.
me.
Now look
I'm
at
doing
you.
the
Now look
same.
at
I'm
you.
doing the same shit. You
Look
know.
at me now.
Now look at
Yeah.
us. What's something you were way too confident about while you were messed up?
That I was a man.
Damn. I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that. That
That
was
I was
so
a man.
deep.
That's heavy.
I mean,
And that's honest as hell, too.
Yeah.
I
That I was a
I
man.
don't know what I was expecting, but I was not expecting that.
All right. That's a
That
good
was
answer.
Yeah.
good.
What behavior did you justify during your addiction that you'd never accept today?
But I accept it now, right?
Yeah. No, what behavior did you justify back then that you thought was okay, but now you could never imagine accepting it?
Hurting women.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what
Damn.
I mean by that is this is just the way I am. Accept me for who I am, But I could cheat on you. I could lie to you. I could do these things to you, but if you say you love me, then accept me for who I am, and that's false, man. As a man, that's false. Because of my abandonment issues, I was pouring all that onto these women,
Mm.
and it was hard to accept that. But that's where you dig deep into the healing process to understand, like, hurt people hurt people, and since I was hurt, I was hurting people.
It's so true.
Yeah, so that man,
You take it out on others,
And I'm gonna say this could probably be one of the last questions, but what's one word that describes your addiction, but also now one word that describes your recovery?
one word that describes my.
Mm.
I was a villain then, and I'm a villain now,
Okay.
regardless.
Okay.
So that's how I think. I don't know.
So villain, both
Villain.
answers?
Yeah, I was a villain then, and I'm still a villain now. I'm not for everybody. You guys ain't for everybody either. It's either you're gonna like me or not.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because I've learned that honesty is gonna get you, or honesty is gonna get you farther than anything, and honesty is gonna set you up for your future. So for me, man, being honest about anything, some people don't want to hear that shit.
Great
And
answer.
and then they throw that you can't judge, or you can't do this, you can't do that, and it's like, dude, well, let me tell you, man, like, I wish that I had someone in my corner that was as honest as that I am now, because maybe
Mhm.
my life wouldn't have turned out the way it turned out. But me, man, you couldn't tell me nothing, because Bernardo had it all figured out.
Mhm.
That
So
ego,
yeah,
you got. Yep.
yeah.
Now, what advice would you give to somebody who's still out there stuck in addiction right now who's watching this?
Man,
Final question, put you on the spot.
Boom.
yeah.
Mic drop.
He will.
Nah, that one's a tough one, but I would say it would be, I mean, surrender. But I mean, like, when you're out there in your addiction, man, you don't want to hear nothing. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, like, surrender. But I love you. I don't know. Maybe some people just need I love you. And I'm being
I love
real
you, Evan.
because
Oh, you said it.
it's just like they're feeling so empty. They're feeling empty. Because you were there. So like, give them a hug.
Yeah.
Um, tell them I love you. Man. Everything's gonna really be all right. Or let's go to a meeting. Here's my phone number. It has to be action, man.
Yeah.
It has to be action because I don't know, man. Because now you're making me reflect back into when I was in there, and it's like, dude, no one could tell me shit, you know. And I think that's the thing is that I try to share with others like you don't necessarily have to hit rock bottom, but you don't want to hit rock bottom, man. You know what I mean? Like if you have a chance to make the changes now, fucking make them. You know what I mean? Because you might not get another chance. And,
Mm-hmm.
and now that you have that chance, that's why I don't take this shit for granted. God granted me the chance to make the changes, so I'm running with it. You know what I mean? I'm running with it, and I'm not looking back because I know individuals who are still battling their addiction right now, who didn't make it in their addiction, but I did. You did, and you did. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So what are we doing? What are we doing? You know what I mean? And so that's why I won't hammer down on them because I know like, but I'll make them feel like, dude, I understand. I do. So
And yeah,
yeah,
hammering down on them isn't going to help them get sober. So
nah, it's gonna push them away.
yeah. Yeah,
So it's hard.
definitely.
It's hard. Like it's hard when you see when you see an individual out there, struggling, man. It's hard, man. You gotta have that empathy for reals.
Mm-hmm.
That discernment.
For
You know
sure.
what I mean? You gotta understand what they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Thank you so much, though, seriously, for doing a part 2 and coming on and being,
What up, Bernie?
whoop,
What's up, bro?
Logan.
You're finally not camera shy,
Oh,
huh?
he can't hear you.
Oh, he can't. My bad.
No, but thank you again for coming on the show and doing the
Appreciate it, man.
part 2 and always being a big part of this, community. Sober Strong Apparel is not just, wear that we wear. It's something that it's a crew.
Lifestyle
It
wear.
really
It's a
is, though.
lifestyle.
Battle
It
gear.
really is. It's battle
Yeah.
gear, and we're all doing it together. And you're 3 hours behind me. So are you, I think, Bernie, and everybody. Adriana, I have so many people that I could contact that I've never met in person, but I feel like you all are family. And I'm just
Yeah.
grateful for it.
Yeah, it's super important to have that community, even though we're so far away, but we're so close at the same time, right? And
100%.
how is that? Because just like drugs and alcohol is universal, your pain, my pain, it's all universal too.
Yeah.
We just gotta talk about it. And that's
Yep.
what we do is we stay true to thyself. And when we do that, man, it opens up so many more people's eyes. Man, Sober Strong is of course, like you guys know, like it's a lifestyle, and
Yep.
I stand on it and I stand on business when it comes to I wear it every single day, but it's not about wearing it, it's actually living it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's a super, super important thing to always remember, man. Am I being honest with myself?
Yep.
You know?
That's why I love their slogan: "Stay sober, stay true, rep the crew."
That was
Yeah.
good.
What does he say? Action behind and
Yeah, I love that.
That's
No,
my favorite.
Chris is a great guy, and he's got a great thing going, and we're all just more than grateful to be able to support it and rep the brand.
Fun.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
And money goes to treatment facilities, and for everybody out there, remember to use
You
rock
know what I'm
bottom.
waiting for? You know what I'm
What?
waiting for?
What, the party that I was talking about?
That too, but hey, I'm waiting for someone to get the Sober Strong tattooed on them.
I'm pretty committed, and I get tattoos unexpectedly pretty often. So
I just gave Ryan a look. We are in
I might get a wild hair over here in Florida. You never know.
I was thinking that, hey, someone hasn't popped out with that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well, I haven't seen it,
I
you
don't like
know.
it, you know.
Yeah, that's a good point. You might have thrown me
So
a little
Ryan,
idea. I got some room on
He's
my
really
stomach.
tatted.
Yeah.
He might really do it.
Yeah.
you gotta get it. You gotta get it before I get it, bro.
All right. I might beat you to it.
Don't tempt
Nice.
him with a good
We'll
time.
see who gets the better artist. Who
Hey,
gets
well,
the...
Rachel could take you right there where you guys are at. Good tattoo
There's
shop.
a lot of tattoo artists around here.
You and Logan, bro.
I'm kind of tempted. I got some cash on me, and I'm a little.
I'll get it.
Yeah. Maybe
There
we'll
we
get
go.
something
There we
today.
go.
Maybe we'll get tatted today. Yeah.
I know a few people.
We'll show Chris how dedicated we really are.
I'll get a tramp stamp of it.
Hey, you see,
Jesse.
or even yeah.
Not a tramp stamp, but I will put it on me. I would put it on me.
He's like, what?
Yeah.
My imagination
Do
going
people-
wild right
yeah,
now.
he's like,
Nah,
oh my
nah.
God, Rachel, I'm sweating.
No, I'm sweating, Rachel. You're
You made
making me
Bernardo-
nervous. You're making me nervous. Nah, just playing.
This is good. No, it's been fun talking to you, man, and we're all proud to rep the brand and everything it stands for. And, you know, you're helping people with your content, which we love, and really appreciate you being so honest and upfront. And my favorite answer the entire conversation was being a man and how that was a false thing you were confident about. And that's such a huge thing, and it makes me want to look in the mirror and be like, God, that was probably me too, you know?
Am I a man?
Yeah. So thank you for your honesty.
Yeah, for sure, man. And that's what it is. It's all about, you know, just iron sharpening iron, man. I need you just as much as you need me, man. I need her just as much as whether she's a girl or you know, or not, man. Like I need the community as just as much.
Yeah.
However it is, you know.
We do.
Don't ever think that you can't you got to do this all on your own. You don't, man. You don't. Yeah, you got to put in the work on your own, but like I said, like it's just one of those things where I could walk in a room today and I don't know if you guys felt like this, but when you walk in a room and there's 100 people and you feel so, you know, like this, right? Like so small, right? And I'm not saying this is the confidence or I'm not saying this is the ego or the pride, but it might be. But I could walk in that room and feel proud of myself. I can stand up in front of 50, 60, 70, 80 people, share my story. Of course, be nervous a little bit, but be able to be truly honest.
Yep.
And after I'm honest, I feel like, you know, I don't feel alone. And you know why I don't feel alone? It's because I broke my anonymity.
Yep.
You know? That's the truth, man.
Yep, that's what we're doing. We're telling our story and going into raw, dirty details about our story, and it's helping people. So
Yeah.
that's the intent.
Hey, you gotta watch. You can't go too raw on the internet, bro.
Yeah, that's true. We got to be careful.
You know what I mean? You start getting those messages. And I'm just like, dude,
Yeah,
chill. You know, chill. This is the truth. You know what I mean?
some people don't like it, but
No.
Nah.
yeah, we both dealt
But,
with
yeah.
haters recently, so I mean, it's just one of those things.
Haters are everywhere.
Yep.
Do you guys because you guys are booming, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I said, it's a spiritual warfare, you know? So, do you guys feel like the more you go up, the more the attacks just fucking come?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep,
It's getting worse.
Yeah, it's getting worse. Like as every day goes by, there's like something new.
Like people I haven't spoke to in 15 years or seen, and they don't even know me at all, are like making comments on my Instagram, attacking me on YouTube. It's really crazy. And they're still like out there. So I feel for them, but at the same time, they're coming for me. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, people coming for me too. Somebody screenshotting my post and being like, this motherfucker, he used to be like this. What the hell do you think he is such a good guy now? I'm like,
but I am a good guy now.
I'm not that person anymore. And that's the point.
Yeah. You want to change, right?
Y'all wanted to see me get better.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Would you want me to stay that person?
Yeah, that's what individuals don't like. As the more you elevate, you guys know this, man. It's like people are so envy, you know. People are so like, I say that to say, man, because I deal with a lot of that. You know, that's why I honestly, like everywhere I go and what I do, man, I put the armor of God on, and I know that, you know what, I'm okay.
Yeah.
You know, because jealousy and envy and all that stuff comes with what this life offers me, you know, and once I accept that, because real quick, hold on, let me share this. Once I started working on my inner self, because of course all of us want to be like, you know what, this world is this world is that, right? But when I started working on my inner self and I started understanding and I started building that relationships deeply with my higher power, you know, I started realizing that the world is beautiful. It's just some people are ugly.
True.
It's just like it's not the church, it's the people. It's not the AA meetings, it's the people. You know what I mean?
But yeah.
Yep.
So people think like it's this, it's the world, no, man, it's the people. You know? When you start working on your inner self, you start getting that discernment, you start realizing, bro, I'm not going over there. I don't like that negative energy. You know? I block out the noise, which is hard. Like for you guys, I'm sure it's super hard to block out that noise. Because you know that this is what comes with it, you know?
Yep.
Yeah. It's still, you know, she went after my motherhood, so I'm still kind of like,
I'll be
"Oh,
salty
you
too."
fucking. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm not that person anymore, so I have to keep replaying that in my mind.
Yeah.
And then I have, you know, all of you guys to talk to about this, so it's like, really, in reality, who is she? She doesn't even know me. So
I don't know too many people that are in recovery and a year and a half sober plus, you know, that didn't have a past, you know, and the past is going to come back and bite us, you know, but we still have to remember we are who we are now.
Yeah. Super important.
But yeah, man, this has been an awesome chat. Remind people how they can reach you on Instagram and TikTok and all that.
You can reach me at recovery_209 on Instagram. Also on TikTok. I got a Facebook too now. I think it's the same thing, recovery_209. But if not, you guys will put it down in the link, right? My Instagram has that little thing where it's you could find me on all the platforms or
look at you.
everything that I got going on.
All right, awesome. Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you guys. For real, you guys enjoy your time out there, man. All right.
Thank you.
And Logan,
Thank you so much. We'll do.
Hey, take care of that guy.
We will.
All right.
Rock Bottom with Ryan. No bullshit, just recovery.